What's up, beautiful people? It's Chris Shawarma here, and I'm back at it again. Today, we're diving into a topic that a lot of us don't like talking about, but it's something we all go through, and that's failure. Yeah, that dreaded F word that nobody wants to deal with, but everyone experiences. On my last video, we talked about sadness. This time, I want to put a twist on failure. And some of you might be thinking, oh great, another pep talk about embracing failure. But bear with me here. This isn't some sugar-coated failure is a gift type of talk. I'm here to get as real as I can about it. The frustration, the self-doubt, the why did I even bother moments. I want to talk about how failure can actually be one of the best teachers we have, and how it's not about avoiding failure, but learning to bounce back stronger. So let's get right into it. First, let's acknowledge something. Failure sucks. Big time. I'm not here to tell you that failure is fun or that you should jump up and down when things don't go your way. When you put effort into something, when you care about it, and then it doesn't work out. That hurts. It stings. There's no denying it. But here's the thing. Failure only stings because it means you tried. You were invested in something. And think about that for a second. You put yourself out there, you gave it a shot, and aimed for something more. And that's actually huge. Most people stay comfortable and never even try because they're afraid of failing. So if you failed, it means you've already done more than most. That in itself deserves some respect. I tried running my first ultra marathon this year, and I trained like crazy. And it was a 100-miler, and I was only able to finish 100K. But who else has run 100K in half a day? So take a deeper look into your failure and learn how to put it under a positive light. Now, let's talk about fitness for a second. And yeah, I know it's kind of my thing to relate these things to fitness, but the fact is that fitness is one of the best metaphors for failure and success. It's easy, think about it. When you're lifting weights or doing an intense workout, you're basically setting yourself up to fail. Every single time you push until your muscles can't handle it anymore, until you're exhausted, until you're tempted to call it quits. That feeling when you can't do another rep, that's failure in action. And guess what? Failure is exactly how you get stronger. Every rep that you struggle with, every time you're out of breath, every workout where you feel like collapsing, well, that's where growth happens. So if failure is part of getting physically stronger, then why can't it be part of getting mentally and emotionally stronger too? Failure has a funny way of exposing our blind spots. When you mess up or fall short, it's like a mirror reflecting areas where you might need to improve. Maybe you were rushing it. Maybe you weren't fully prepared. Maybe you were too focused on the end results and not enough on the process. You know, failure is there to remind us that we're human, we're not perfect, and that's perfectly okay. You know that quote from the beginning by Samuel Beckett? The full version goes, "Ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better." I love that because it reminds us that failure is part of the journey. Each time we fail, we learn to do it a little bit better. Failure teaches us resilience, humility, and self-awareness. All things we wouldn't learn if we only ever succeeded. Now, here's a big one. Ready? Failure is feedback. not a definition. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It doesn't mean you should quit. And it doesn't mean you're doomed to keep failing. Failure is just information. It's like life giving you a little nudge saying, hey, here's an area where you can improve. And let's say you didn't hit a personal best in your workout, or maybe you just bonked a job interview, or your project didn't turn out as expected. Instead of throwing in the towel, take a step back and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Approach failure like a detective solving a case. Figure out what went wrong and what you can change next time. Adjust your approach, work on your weaknesses, and then try again. Each attempt brings you closer to where you want to be. I love a Bruce Lee quote that says, adapt what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is specifically your own. I want you to think of failure as a natural part of the journey. It's a chapter in your story and it's not the whole book. If you're moving forward, you're going to stumble. That's just how it works. But each stumble is also a stepping stone. You might be crawling today, but eventually you're going to walk. And one day, you're going to run. And the best part, well, every time you fail and get up, you're showing yourself that you can handle adversity. You're teaching yourself resilience. So don't fear failure. Welcome it as part of the process, because without those setbacks, well, the victories wouldn't feel as sweet, that's for sure. Here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me, basically. Don't view failure as the opposite of success. See it as part of the success. Each failure is like one rung on the ladder that leads to growth, learning, and improvement. When you start seeing failure as a growth tool, you're no longer paralyzed by it. It becomes a motivator rather than a roadblock. You start asking yourself, what's the worst that can happen? And usually, well, the answer is not much. You might fail, yes, but that's just another opportunity to learn. And that, my beautiful people, is how you become unstoppable. So the next time you're staring failure in the face, remember that it's not there to knock you down for good. It's there to help you grow. It's there to show you where you need to put in more work, to help you find the areas you need to strengthen, and to remind you that you're trying. And trying is basically a beautiful thing. Don't run from failure. Embrace it. Let it make you better, stronger, and wiser. Because at the end of the day, failure is just a chapter and not the whole story. Think about that. And if this message resonated with you, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell too. Share it with someone who might need a little reminder that failure isn't the end. It's just a step on the path to something greater. And also remember, beautiful people, success is sweet, but it's the failures that make us truly strong. So let's keep falling, keep learning, and keep growing, one step, one rep, one stumble at a time. Until next time, people, keep moving forward and get that money.